Hi everybody, in this video we are going to solve the problem you see on the screen right now. So if cosine equals 3/5, where theta is between 0 and pi over 2, find cosine of 2 theta. Now let's think smarter, not harder. By default, I want to draw a picture all the time, and some of you may want to also. However, it's not entirely necessary. Cosine of 2 theta, we have 3 different options for the identity. Just to reiterate, where this identity pulls from is if you know the angle sum identity for cosine of alpha plus beta. That will be cosine alpha, cosine beta minus opposite sign, sine alpha, sine beta. Okay, that's the angle sum identity for cosine. If I use for my two angles theta plus theta, that means you'll have cosine theta minus sine theta, which is cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta, and that right there is technically cosine 2 theta, which we also know as the double angle situation. This is one iteration of the double angle identity for cosine. The other iterations include a version, both of which are going to come from the Pythagorean theorem being involved, Pythagorean identity. So if I use the Pythagorean identity, say I were to get cosine squared alone, I'm going to subtract sine squared to the other side. That means I get cosine squared theta equals 1 minus sine squared theta. I'm going to replace this guy right here with that in the next iteration. So I get 1 minus sine squared theta minus the existing sine squared theta, which leaves me with 1 minus 2 of those, 2 sine squared theta. So this right here is iteration number 2. So iteration 1, iteration 2, not that they're really numbered. And then I'm going to go back to this guy, and this time I'm going to get sine squared alone. So if I get sine squared alone, I bring cosine squared to the other side. So that equals 1 minus cosine squared theta, right? And then you fill in cosine squared theta stays. And now I'm replacing this bad boy minus the quantity of 1 minus cosine squared theta. Distribute that bad boy. So that's a negative 1. And that's going to be a positive cosine squared theta, which I will combine with this cosine squared theta, leaving me with the very lovely 2 cosine squared theta minus 1. So that's the third iteration, and that's the one we're going to use right now. Why, you ask? Thank you for asking. Because they gave us cosine already. This way we don't have to draw a triangle and find sine. Time is money. Keep it moving, right? So cosine 2 theta, I'm going to use 2 cosine squared theta minus 1. Also, to help you memorize if you are on that journey, the first one, I have 2 squared trigs, right? I have one of the cosine squared, I have one of the sine squared, and they're being subtracted in between. It's cosine double angle identity, so cosine comes first, right? In the next iteration, say the one we're using here, I have 2 squared trigs, but this time I just happen to have 2 cosines. So it's like I took the sine, I pushed it over there, popped into another cosine, and now this is just 1. Still minus everything else. And then I go, push that cosine squared into that sine squared, and it's 1 minus 2 sine squared. So I always, sine squared is second, cosine comes first because it's cosine 2 theta. Okay, what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? I hope so. So here I'm going to have cosine of 2 theta equals 2. Whatever the cosine of theta is, we figure that out, and then we square it, and then we multiply by 2 because we learned order of operations in algebra 1 or whatever the heck. So I'm just showing you where everything's going because, someone will mess it up because we don't know algebra because we didn't learn it long term. We learned it for a day and forgot it the next day. Who said that? Not me. Cosine theta is 3 over 5 squared minus 1. 3 over 5 squared, not challenging. If you think it's challenging, if you just grabbed your calculator, shame on you. 2, which is 2 over 1. It's not 2 on top and bottom. 2 on top and bottom is 1. Stop it. Stop doing that. 9 over 25. Don't forget to square the 5. Minus 1. Can 2 reduce to 25? Always check that first. No, it cannot. So 9 times 2 is 18. 18 over 25 minus 1, which is really 25 over 25. 18 minus 25. How far is 18 to 20? 2. How far is 18 to 5? 25, 5 more. 2 and 5, 7. Smaller number minus a bigger number, negative. Just going over some common sense, since some people need a little help. I'm not judging. I'm not judging. And there you go. -7 over 25. I hope you got that right. I hope you appreciate the technique and the strategy so you don't have to draw a triangle. If you are smarter and you know it, thumbs it up. If not, thumbs it down. Questions, comments, concerns, requests in the comments. And check the description box or click through on a thumbnail or whatever the heck these things are called on the screen. Bye for now.